Thank you for tuning in to the Patricia Show. My name is Patricia. Please press like, subscribe, and share this audio with someone who you think may need it. So now, this is part 2 of You Are the God of Your World. It's hard for people to understand this because you've been taught things that are so untrue. And so it's hard for you to believe and grasp that you are the God of your world. Jesus came here, like I said, to teach you how to reach God. And even with that, nobody's following that direction. Everybody's doing what they want to do. Jesus came here and said the kingdom of heaven is within you. People start opening up churches, in our day and time. People start opening up churches back in the 18th century, hundreds, I guess. People were opening up churches. Did people sit down and say, okay, even if you're going to open up a church, are you teaching in the church how to reach the heaven, how to reach a turn within to the power within? No, you're teaching something else. So you're not teaching what Jesus told you to teach. Because if you were and you opened up a church or something, or a teaching center, you would be teaching people how to tap that power within, how to connect with the power within. Since Jesus told you that the kingdom of heaven was within you, you're focusing outside of yourself. You're focusing in a building, a church. That's a building. I just want to know why. If Jesus said the kingdom of heaven is within, why are you focusing outside of yourself to a church? This is one thing that I don't understand. People don't follow instruction. They don't. I was on the phone today for hours helping this young lady fill out an application because she wasn't reading it. Reading. All she had to do was read it to follow the instructions. People don't follow instructions. If Jesus said that the kingdom of heaven is within you, what are you going to a building for? Do you really believe in Jesus, or do you believe in things that you have made up or things that other people have made up to try to make you believe that Jesus didn't say the kingdom of heaven is within? Jesus used to talk about the Father, the mighty I am, or the Father all the time. But yet they don't teach it in the church. Why is that? If Jesus taught about the Father, then it seemed to me that they would be teaching the same thing he taught. But when you ask them about the Father, nobody knows because they weren't taught that. I said to a young lady about the I am, and she said to me, oh, that's from the Old Testament. I guess as if to say we don't follow that anymore. Because when Jesus came, Jesus changed the Old Testament. He didn't change everything. He changed some of the things in the Old Testament. I never saw that he said he changed that. He always talked about my Father who thou in heaven. But the Christians or whoever made you, the people who control the earth or whoever, made you believe that Jesus and God is one and the same. Now, I want to explain this to you, and I want to explain it clearly to you. When you're on the road of spirituality or learning or returning back to the mighty I am, which is God Almighty, You go through many, many stages and you're growing, right? One of the stages you go through as you are, let me see how I can put this. It's almost like you are anointed with the Christ ship. The Christ ship is pure love and light. You cannot reach the Father without going through this initiation, I'll put it, of the light. When you go through this initiation of the light, you understand what the light is. You understand that the light is God Almighty. And there's other things that you learn about the light. How you could bring this divine light into your world for protection. And for everything, really. Okay? And then you could go on, and now you're still on the path to growing and evolving. And then you'll continue to evolve until, if you're on the earth, 51% of your karmas are transmuted. And you become the God of your world. So you've had all this initiation, a lot of initiation, a lot of training for many lifetimes, because you cannot do this all in one lifetime. And then you become the Christ. When you become the Christ, you don't have to, you're finished reincarnating on the earth. Your reincarnation on the earth is over. And whatever you go into the inner plane, spirit world, and then you'll do whatever they do over there. Okay, I want to just talk about physical earth, okay? Let's say that you, like Jesus did, was appointed or wanted to come back to teach mankind. After he had became the Christ, he still wanted to, after he finished the wheel of reincarnation, he still wanted to come back and teach people about God and how to get there. So he said, okay, so I'm going to manifest the mighty I am in my physical body. And I will be the first on earth to have done this, which is true. So when Jesus came back, he still went through initiation, still had what you call, I don't want to say tests, but initiations, and still went through growth and spiritual growth. Growth. Then the Father descended upon him. And Jesus manifested the I am in this world. Okay? So Jesus became the God of his world. Not the God of my world, not the God of your world. He became the God of his world. He went the highest level he could go through the physical body. Okay? So yes, Jesus is definitely a God. But he's the God of his world. You have to go through all of the initiation that he went through. And then you will become the God of your world. We all are gods. That's why God gave us dominion over all things. But we all haven't actually reached there. In other words, we all are the children of God. But we have not went through the initiations and the growth that we need to go through to become a God of our world. Jesus did. So that's why it's hard for me to say, well, Jesus is not God. Absolutely, he is God, but he's the God of his world. In other words, I wouldn't go to Jesus for help with my world. I need to go directly to the Father for help with my world. Do you understand what I'm saying? They told you, whoever told you that you should call on the Christ. I am not saying don't call on the Christ. Yes, call on the Christ, because Christ is love and Christ is light. Jesus is not the only Christ, because you first got to know what Christ means. When people tell you something or teach you something, you need to look it up for yourself and research it yourself, investigate it yourself. Yes, Jesus became the Christ. That is so true. But the Christ of his world. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Patricia Show. I will do a part 3 on this. Thank you.